Hello friend, and welcome to the third and final video in this postpartum yoga series. Today's practice is all about rebuilding core strength. And when I talk about core, I'm not just talking about your rectus abdominis, those six-pack abs right in the front. We're talking your whole core canister, which is your ribs and your diaphragm up here, your pelvic floor at the bottom, and then the three layers of your core muscles, your belly muscles, your transverse abdominis, your obliques, and your rectus abdominis. And so I know a lot of women postpartum are really interested in healing diastasis recti, which is where the linea alba, the connective tissue that joins the two sheaths of our rectus abdominis, separates, right? That's totally natural and normal during pregnancy. And a few different studies have shown that between 6 and 12 months, almost 70% of women see just a natural coming together of this connective tissue. Sometimes that just happens, like I said, naturally, and sometimes it happens through some extra work. And so this video, we're gonna focus on a little bit more concentrated effort on helping that connective tissue come back together. Now, connective tissue just takes longer to rebuild and rehabilitate than muscle. So know that it's going to take time, right? It took you 9 months for your body to grow to full-term size. Give yourself so much grace as it finds its new shape in this postpartum season. All right, so as we move through these exercises, most of them, or all of them I would say, are very safe unless your doctor or physical therapist has explicitly told you otherwise. But as you move through, there's a couple things I want you to notice. One is your belly muscles should not bulge or push out or be bracing as we're doing this. Okay, so the movements that we'll be focusing on today are going to help us improve posture, connect with our breath, and build spinal mobility. And all these things together help us reintegrate and rebuild core strength. All right, if you have a severe diastasis or severe pelvic pain, please go speak to your care provider. If you are able, please go see a pelvic floor physical therapist. There are people in this world who specialize in postpartum pelvic floor recovery, whether you're 6 months postpartum or 6 years postpartum. Incontinence, pain, weakness it's common, but it's not normal. So please, if you are able, seek out extra help. That's a soapbox I could stand on all day, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. One more thing to note before we begin practicing today, and that is if you have a yoga strap or a necktie or a scarf or even just like a kitchen towel, go ahead and grab it. We're gonna use it for a little bit of movement work that we'll do. So grab that, just place it at the back of your mat, and let's jump in and do some yoga. Let's begin this practice connecting with our breath, just like we did in the previous video to this one. So from your kneeling position, bring your hands to the sides of your ribs, either crossing your arms in front of you or elbows out to the side. As you breathe in, focus your breath into your rib space here and let any overflow breath spill out of your rib canister down into your belly, softening into your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, feel the lift of your pelvic floor, the cinching in across your belly, the hugging in of your ribs. And then take 2 more like this on your own, long and slow and full, not forcing anything or pushing anything, but just noticing, recovering, remembering, and now we begin to rebuild. One of my favorite scriptures about starting again in the Bible comes from an Old Testament book called Zechariah. And the Israelites are beginning to rebuild the temple of God that had been destroyed. And the Lord says this, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." So friend, as we start to rebuild, don't despise the small beginning. Refrain from criticism or comparison or judgment, but feel the rejoicing of the Lord in you and over you. Welcome the journey. Show up for the work. Release your hands from your body. As you breathe in now, find that same kind of breath and let it fuel you all the way up so that you're rising, standing on your shins, lifting your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, lower your hips back to your heels and send your arms back behind you, fingertips back, armpit and chest lifts. Couple more times like this. Inhale to rise up, soft pelvic floor, full ribs and belly. And then exhale, lift your pelvic floor, draw your low belly in, sit your hips back to your heels. One more time, long, slow inhale brings you all the way up. Exhale, just to begin to integrate your breath with the functional movement of your body. Good. Now stay seated here. Just soften your arms to the side. Tip your right ear over to your right shoulder and just reach your left hand down and away. Really directing your breath into the side of your neck here. Maybe you drop your chin, kind of roll your head side to side. Move as it feels good to move here. Remember, we're not just pushing our way back into fitness or exercise. We're slowly welcoming in new movements into this new body. All right, soften your left arm, gently roll your chin down into your chest, and then take your head over to the left side. And then just extend your right fingertips down and out to the side, feeling the stretch through the right side of your neck. Beautiful. One more breath in. This time as you exhale, soften your right hand and let your chin come all the way up. Let your head drop back. Feel the front of your throat open. And then bring your head back up to the center, ears stacked over shoulders. So the three components of rebuilding that we're focusing on are posture, breath, and spinal mobility. All right, so we're going to keep those in mind as we continue our work today. Come now onto a tabletop position, hands find the floor. Let's work a bit more into some spine mobility. So as you inhale, find cow. Feel the arching through your spine, the lifting of your tailbone and chest. As you exhale, now feel your pelvic floor draw up and in, your low belly draw up and in, rounding, flexing through the whole length of your spine. Inhale slowly back into cow. Exhale slowly, rounding tailbone to chin as you come into cat. Take one more like this. Big breath in to your ribs, letting it spill over from there. And then exhaling, curling in, tailbone, pelvic floor, low belly, upper belly, chest, shoulders, and chin. Good. Find a neutral position in your spine now. Let's just focus our energy into our pelvis. So seeing if you can keep your shoulders and ribs still, like they were stuck in cement. Can you begin to tuck your tailbone under? And then take it over to the right side. And then begin to arch and round, or arch your tailbone all the way up and around, like you're moving your tailbone around a clock face, coming back down into this flexed or rounded position. Do this again a few more times. Maybe imagine you had a paintbrush in your tailbone. You're trying to draw a circle on the wall behind you. If your breath has slowed or stopped because you're concentrating really hard, welcome it back in. Good. And then start to circle around the other way. Again, just noticing, not despising these small beginnings, welcoming them, rejoicing in them, being curious about them because they give you a place to go from. All right, come back to the center. Extend your left toes behind you, but keep them on the floor. Press your heel towards the space behind you. And then as you feel balanced and ready, start to extend your right arm so that your bicep is alongside your ear, your palm is facing in towards the center of your mat. Take a breath in, look forwards, find a little mini arch through your spine. Keep your back toes on the floor as you exhale and begin to round through your tailbone, drawing your low belly in and hugging your elbow in towards your ribs. Two more like this. We often do this with our back leg lifted, but it's almost harder with our back toes on the floor. We really have to use our exhale to curl into our spinal flexion here. Good. One more time, extend. This is also much safer as we're working to heal diastasis. Good. Curl elbow back into navel. Nice. Extend it back out. And then return both hand and knee back to the floor. Take some nice big body circles here, getting into your side body as you move around your mat. Good. Switch the direction, circle around the other way. Good. Find yourself back in the center, nice and still. Draw your low belly up and in just to support your spine. Extend your right leg back now. Toes stay on the floor. Heel stretches back. And then start to extend your left arm so that your bicep comes alongside your ear. Take a nice big breath in here. Find a little bit of cow, but rather than just dumping through your belly, think about reaching through the center of your chest. And now as you exhale, round into cat, keeping your back toes on the floor. Tuck, tuck, tuck your tailbone, round through your pelvis, hug your elbow in, and then inhale, stretch it all back out. 2 more like this on your own. Exhaling to round and curl in, puffing up the space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, extend 1 more time. Exhale, curl elbow in, round, round, round. Exhale and hug in. Good. Come back to neutral and return your hand and your knee back onto the mat. Come into downward facing dog and let this downward dog be an exploration of movement, of breath, of stretching, of stability in your body. Beautiful. Walk your hands now back to your feet so you're hanging in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Hopefully you've got a strap nearby within reach. We're going to use it in just a moment. But first we're going to find chair pose. So start to bend at your ankles, your knees, and hips. Send your tailbone back towards the back edge of your mat and lift your chest up. If you want to reach your arms overhead, you can. If you want to just bring your hands to your heart, that's great. As you inhale, find that softness in your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, find the lifting up and in, any amount. Good. As you exhale, fold yourself back in half. Grab your strap and stand all the way up. All right, bring your hands on your strap at about 45 degrees, so a diagonal from your shoulders. We're going to do some standing crunches. So reach your arms and the strap over your head. And this in and of itself might just feel really nice if you've been hunched over a baby or feeding or nursing or just holding all day. So enjoy this expansion and this stretch for just a minute. Of course, if you don't have a strap, you can just lift your arms into this shape and find the same sensation. All right, from here, we're going to find it a little itty bitty cow. So see if you can back bend just slightly. And then as you exhale, find a standing cat. So again, tuck your tailbone round through your lumbar spine, your middle back, your upper back. Good, staying standing. Inhale, come all the way back up. Crunches like you're doing on the floor, but we're standing up. As you exhale, curl in slowly using your exhale to cinch your waist into your spine. Good. 1 more time. Inhaling, soft and full, and then exhaling, rounding and curling in. Good. Come all the way back upright. Release your strap down to the floor. Keep it at the back of your mat. We're going to do this again in a little bit. For now, though, we'll just walk to the top of your mat. Take a breath in, stretch both arms overhead. As you exhale, fold back in half. From your forward fold, step your left leg back, lower your knee down onto the mat. Walk your hands up to your hips or just to rest on your right thigh and find yourself in this supported low lunge. Now hands, like I said, can stay on your body or maybe you bring them to your heart or overhead. Finding just a subtle experience of a back bend, really just in your upper spine, right? Our low back has been so stretched and arched throughout pregnancy. So really bring some stability to that, but find some expansion across your collarbones. Good. Now lower your hands down to the floor. Left hand will stay on the mat. Right arm will twist open as you turn your torso over to the right side. If you want to tuck your back toes and lift your back knee, you can. See if you can heavy your right hip down and away. Really breathe into your right side body. Good. Then lower your right hand down. If your back knee is lifted, lower it down. Bring both hands inside your right foot. Step your right knee back so that you're back in a tabletop position. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Good. Come back to table. Walk your hands forward so that you're in a supported plank. Stay here for a minute and really draw your pubic bone, the front of your pelvis, forward and up so that your low back gets long, your belly is engaged. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Really gentle baby cobra here. So inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the center of your chest. We're just working back strength here. We're not going deep into a back bend. On your next exhale, make your way back to a downward facing dog. Do not despise these small beginnings. The Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Gentle and slow and mindful is the invitation, friend. Let's do this again on the other side. So begin by walking your hands back to your feet so that you're hanging in a fold at the back of your mat. On your inhale, make your way into chair pose. With every inhale, feeling your pelvic floor expand, and with every exhale, feeling it draw up and in. Good. Fold yourself back in half. Grab your strap. Stand all the way back up. Position your hands straight out or diagonally out from your shoulders. Lift them up overhead. Take a breath in. Enjoy this opening. And then as you exhale, find a crunch. So curl your low belly, your pelvis, your ribs, your chest, pointing it down towards the floor. And then inhale, expand back open. 2 more times. Exhale, slow. Exhale, curls you in. Breathe in to expand. Take up space. Exhale, curl in, build strength, reconnection, stability. Good. Come back upright. Drop your strap. Walk yourself to the front of your mat. On your inhale, reach both arms over your head. As you exhale, fold into your fold. Good. Inhale, step your right foot back behind you. And as you exhale, drop your knee to the floor and make your way into your experience of a supported low lunge today. Beautiful. See if you can lengthen through your low back by heavying your tailbone, lifting up your pubic bone, pressing your thigh forwards. Nice. And then bring your hands down to the mat. Right fingertips stay on the floor. Left arm lifts up as you twist to the left. You have the option to lift your back knee if you want it. Send your breath really into the side of your waist and your ribs. Good. And then lower your hand to the floor. Drop your back knee if it's lifted. Bring both hands inside your left foot and then step your left knee back so that you're in a table. 1 round of cat and cow with your breath. Good. And then walk your hands forward so that you're in a supported plank. As you draw your shoulders over your wrists, draw your pubic bone up and your low belly in. Your exhale will take you all the way down to the mat. Your inhale will bring you up into a little baby cobra. Exhale will take you back into child's pose. You may stay here or come back into that kneeling position we began our practice in. We're going to close this practice with 3 more very slow, very mindful breaths. Feel the delight of the Lord over you as you recover, as you remember, and as you rebuild. Do not despise these early beginnings. Rejoice, friend, for the one who sees you and who knows you delights in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today and throughout this whole series, friend. I really hope this practice poured back into you, it nourished you, it replenished you. Know that this video is free and available. You can come back and do it as often as you'd like. But if you want more content like this, content that weaves the heart of God into a yoga practice, come and join me in the Abbey. Abbey is where I spend most of my time these days. It's an at-home yoga sanctuary with people from all over the world. We do yoga every month. We have meditation practices, prayer and devotional resources, live events. We would love for you to come and join us. So come find us at theyogaabbey.com, and I'll see you back here on your mat again soon.